My home had always been my sanctuary, a place of solace and safety. However, what transpired within those familiar walls would change my perception of reality forever. This is the harrowing tale of what I witnessed, the relentless terror that gripped my life, and the horrifying conclusion that left me haunted and speechless. It all began on a serene evening that seemed like any other. I had just finished a long day's work, and the comforting embrace of my home beckoned me. The soft glow of the setting sun bathed my living room in a warm, inviting light. I settled on my couch, preparing to unwind and savor the tranquility that enveloped me. The house creaked with familiarity, its every nook and cranny a part of my daily existence. The curtains rustled gently, and a gentle breeze flowed through the room, carrying with it the fragrance of the blooming flowers in my garden. It was a moment of pure serenity. As I basked in the solace of my home, I happened to glance towards the hallway. At first, I saw nothing out of the ordinary, but then I noticed her, a woman standing at the end of the hallway. Her eyes locked onto mine with an intensity that sent a shiver down my spine. She was a stranger, her presence uninvited and inexplicable. The woman's gaze was piercing, her eyes not just reflecting curiosity, but something far more profound. Her entire countenance seemed to scream that she carried a secret, one that was woven into the very fabric of my home. At first, I hesitated to approach the stranger. Her presence felt like an intrusion, a violation of the sacred boundaries of my home. But my curiosity got the better of me, and I slowly began to move towards her, every step laced with an inexplicable apprehension. With each step I took, the woman's image became clearer, and her face bore the marks of an indescribable torment. Her lips parted, but no sound emerged. It was as if she was trying to communicate something beyond the realm of words, something that transcended the ordinary. As I reached the end of the hallway, I stood face to face with the enigmatic woman. Her gaze never wavered, her eyes boring into my soul. I had so many questions, but there was an unspoken connection between us, one that needed no words. The air grew heavy, as if the weight of the world had settled in that very moment. I could sense that the woman was not alone in her plight. Something unseen, something malevolent, lurked in the shadows, manipulating her existence. Over the course of several days, the woman began to reveal her harrowing story. She spoke of a possession that had consumed her life, of a relentless entity that had taken hold of her very being. Her tale was one of despair and terror, and her eyes conveyed the horrors she had endured. She described moments when she had lost control over her own body, when her voice had been overtaken by a sinister force, and when her very soul had been torn asunder by the malevolent entity that had claimed her. It became clear that the only way to confront the darkness that had taken hold of the woman was through an exorcism. The very idea sent shivers down my spine, but the alternative was far more terrifying. She was deteriorating rapidly, her life slipping away with each passing day. A Catholic priest was called to perform the exorcism, and the somber ritual unfolded within the confines of my home. The air was thick with tension, and the woman's voice alternated between her own and the unearthly, guttural tones of the entity that held her captive. As the exorcism reached its crescendo, the woman's body convulsed and her face contorted in agony. It was a horrifying sight, and my heart ached with a mixture of terror and sympathy. I could see the sheer exhaustion in the priest's eyes as he battled the relentless entity. And then, it was over. The woman lay still, her breathing shallow and her eyes closed. It was a haunting silence that hung in the room, and the weight of the moment pressed upon us all. It was then that the realization hit me with a crushing force. The woman had paid the ultimate price in her battle against the malevolent force that had possessed her. She had given her life to rid herself of the darkness that had consumed her. I was left standing in my home, haunted by the memory of her gaze, and utterly speechless. The events that had transpired within the familiar walls of my house had left an indelible mark on my soul, a reminder that the boundaries of our reality are far more fragile than we dare to acknowledge.